Hey everybody, just wanted to do a bit of an overview here of my new little pond out in the back garden because it's full of these awesome fellas. I want to show you all what we've done for all the fancy goldfish that we've got, because last year they got put into an indoor pond inside in the kind of back of the studio, and they did great in there. They did absolutely brilliantly, grew on super. Like, look at this guy. Look at him, he's gorgeous. And yeah, they did super all winter. But I kind of want them a little bit closer to home. That was over at the studio. I want them somewhere I can look at these beauties all day long. And you know what? I decided to build myself a little bit of a setup here back home. So you can see nearly all these guys are fancy goldfish. There's a huge variety of them here. Some absolute stunners like this guy. This a male, he's super. This another male, he's getting loads of crazy wane growth on his head now at the moment. He had, his head was really even, and now he's got wane all over him. This guy, he was a chocolate around there, so he recently changed colour. He went gold all along his flanks and belly, and his back is black. And this is a black telescope mirror. That'd be one of the newest ones, smaller, and she's absolutely beautiful. This is Pearl. Pearl is a little stunner. How are you, Pearl? What's the story? She's absolutely brilliant. Pure character. It's Vanilla there in the background. Oh no, sorry, that's Vanilla underneath. And yeah, we just got a bunch of these guys. They love swimming around here. Oh, here's the panda Aranda. She is a beauty, an absolute beauty. She had an awful lot more black on her. She was more black and white, but she changes a bit. Her wen in full sun during the summer, it tends to go a golden color, but it tends to go back to white during the winter. But yeah, really, really beautiful fish. Yeah, just full of character. Loads of these guys. So that's a bit of a selection of them there. There's more. Oh, I couldn't get away without showing Krang. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. He is an absolute unit of a fish, and he knows it. He's a stunner. A stunner he is. But look, I'll give you an overview of the pond anyway. You can take a look. So this is it just from the back door, and look, it's not completely finished. I want to finish off the window, but there was a little bit of a leak sprung, so I said I'd leave it be. I'm going to get some Tech 7, finish it off. But what I'm doing here now is a quick water change. You can see the filter box on the back. It's a wetland bog filter style filter box. But at the moment I've just got water going in, water going out, doing a nice old water change. I'm doing water changes regularly enough on it because it's quite heavily stocked. The filtration is awesome, but you can see these guys. It's I reckon it's about 1,000 litres total. This back here, I wanted somewhere for small fish to be able to hang out because there's actually minnows in here as well. So we've got loads of different kind of plants and rocks all wedged in here, from lilies like this to marimo moss balls. But that's just a hanging basket that's been hung up with some flexible tubing off of a siphon actually. Down here you can see one of the bigger lilies that I've got. Now it's after sending up 2 or 3 shoots, and this one down here, God, I got a bargain with this lily. It was that kind of creeping lily across the surface. I got that for about €12 in the local garden centre. And yeah, I think I'll be taking loads of cuttings off it because it's doing absolutely brilliantly. But anyway, this is the pump for this pond. It's turning over the pond about 2 times an hour, a little bit less than I'd normally go for, but it's working really well. And you can see there's actually a valve here built into it, so I can just turn that, and that's what I've done. I've turned it a little bit. It would normally be kind of set up so that it goes up into the back of the pond into the filter box, but at the moment I've just got it set up so that some of the water is trickling out to match the rate of the water going in. So I'll bring you around and have a look, and you can see this is where the tubes are coming out. So that is going in, and that is zigzagging back and forth underneath all of this stone, and that stone is acting as a biofilter. All plants growing through it. It's full of live snails and worms and all the good stuff that breaks down everything. I've got grasses in here, got lots of different types of plants, reeds, marginal type plants, grasses, there's duckweed, there's some propagated lily in there. So stuff just that's using up loads of the nutrients in the water, and yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. That little patch there is deep enough for a little fish to go in if they're having trouble. Now that's the outlet pipe. That's going, as you can see, down the drain. I'll show you the setup for that now in a minute. But it's working out super. So I'm just matching the flow going out with the flow coming in, and it's absolutely super. Yeah, and you know what? All the little kind of plant details that are in at the moment, absolutely loving it. It makes a big difference because it's not just me to enjoy it, it's the fish that need to enjoy it as well. So you can see that pipe is coming down here, and just going straight down the drain. Water in, water out. It's doing a great job. I do this every couple of days. Leave it on for a while, but just at a slow rate. Turns over the water. Add in some dechlorinator as I'm doing it, and at the end, and it's absolutely super. And you can see here what I'm doing is I'm just judging the bottom of this. That's the level, so that it just helps me get my flow rate right. Now what I'll probably do is I'll add an outlet in the end just to the right hand side, so that I don't even have to worry about monitoring the water coming out. But you can see here, this is the Viewport into it. Now this obviously clearly isn't finished yet, because you can see there's one or two little tiny leaks there. But the great thing about this is, like, I'm just sitting outside here on a little bench I made, but I could be sitting inside at the kitchen table just chilling out and just admiring these guys. And you can see they just keep on popping out of nowhere. Super inquisitive. Come over to the little view window every single time they see me coming along. It's absolutely brilliant. And to keep things clear, we just have this really simple, just one of your standard kind of little magnetic cleaners. The thing is, they get super excited whenever I come over, so I just have to be careful because they'd be getting in the way. They'd nearly be getting caught up in it. Super inquisitive. But no, it's great to see them all happy now, because, you know, that's the great thing about a Viewport, is that, you know, in a way it's kind of like a tank as well as a pond. So I got this bit of kind of dry rotten wood in the forest. It's not even rotten, it's really dried out, but they had some lovely live creeping ivy on it. So plan is I'm going to grow that up over the pergola now and just let that take root. It seems to be doing well. I have lots of little saplings around as well that I'm going to grow on. Now we're renting here, so we're going to be moving someday, so everything is going to be in pots. I want to be able to move everything on, but it's nice to have kind of a variety of stuff. Now here's a bit of a close-up of some of the plants in the back of the pond. You can see that lily there, and actually one of the little fish, Felix, she was full of impacted eggs. She needed a bit of a timeout, so she went in the back there just chilling. She was out to relax underneath those lily pads. And you can see, like, it was a warm enough day, about 18 degrees today. The pond, 20 degrees. It's double insulated, and I'll go over that with you later, but it's super. And basically this is the return flow back out here. That can be varied. I have a little bit of work to do on it. I want to just kind of get it sealed up a little bit, but really happy with it so far. It's working out really well. The flow rate, 2 times per hour turnover, for a little bit less than I'd normally like, but the filtration is working really well on it, and really big large culture live bacteria going on. Worms, I took all that filter media out of another pond that I have, really mature stream wetlands bog filter, so that was just full of live creatures just ready to break down stuff. Love this lily. I'll be propagating lots more of that. So yeah, so all around the pond, I just wanted to make it kind of nice for the fish. You have to remember, goldfish can see millions more colours than we can because they have an extra colour receptor. So I like the idea of having marginal plants, and especially things like, you know, plants for pollinators like bees and stuff. Lavender gives a lovely splash of colour, and it's also really good for all of the insects that'll be flying about as well. Make things into a bit more of a biosphere. And some of these guys here are indoor ferns. They'll be coming in over the winter. I'll be propagating them and just moving them around. But the reason I have them around here is Krang, which is that guy at the back there with the big red head. He likes to sleep on top of that plant pot, and he thinks that nothing else can see him. So my concern is a bird could land up and peck on his head, and I definitely don't want that. So some more lavender here, kind of blocking anywhere where the birds can kind of sit around the back, because, you know, I have lost stuff to the heron before, and it's sad. You just don't want that, like, you know. And juniper bush, I love juniper bushes. They just such a nice contrast, and like that, it kind of gives the pond a bit more of a feeling that it's kind of on the ground level rather than just being a raised pond, because these would be sort of plants you'd normally see creeping along. So I'm going to give these guys a little bit of food there now. I always tap the glass gently before I give them the food and throw it on. Usually I do a little bit better than that to get this down here. But yeah, I always tap it so they know when it's going to be food time. So any of them that are having a bit of a snooze, because, you know, these guys snooze with their eyes open, you can't tell, so want to make sure that they all get their feed. And what happens is the water coming back in, the design of it is that you can see the bubbles coming down and around here. Now there's a little bit of white kind of on the floor of it. Alright, Krang, what's the story, buddy? A little bit of white on the bottom there. That is actually some sealant, and it's just a little bit rough to try and catch some of the sand, because that water powering down the bubbles there, you can see Krang swimming in the current. It's coming in, it's giving a great flow around. They all absolutely love swimming in the current, but it just tends to pull the sand up a little bit, so I put a little bit of kind of Tech 7 down there. And yeah, I just need to get a little bit more sand, cover it, but you can see down there And there's sand all around the back and the sides. That one bit where the flow, excuse me, is a little bit more significant. Where you can see the guys kind of swimming against the flow. They love it. They love it. Like goldfish shouldn't be kept in bowls. Give them a current. Carp love to swim. They love it. Absolutely love it. River fish after all. Except for this lazy devil here, Krang. Now that big fella, he likes the big pellets, so he gets a couple of them. He was in with the koi for a long time. You can see all that fresh wing growth on his head. Those white spots. Nothing to worry about. That's all good wing growth. So, yeah, actually, now, I gave these guys no food for a bit over a day, but you can see they've clearly still been eating because this is green, so they've been eating plants. And you can see that bubble of air. That's exactly why I wasn't feeding them, because one or two of them were floating. They had eggs inside them. They kind of got a little bit impacted. Krang here, his little girlfriend Felix, she was like that. Now, I stopped feeding them, but the thing is, in this pond, they'll still eat algae, they'll eat the plants, they'll eat the ladea, they'll eat insects, you know, so there's no not feeding them in a pond like this. They'll still get food, but you can see some air bubbles in that poop. It's not pretty, but look, it's great. It's great to know that they kind of got their systems cleared out a little bit. Krang here is just the absolute king of when. He's just... The thing is, you can see, he doesn't know I'm above him, and that's the problem. He wouldn't even know if a bird was right above him. Like, half the time his head does be sticking clean out of the water. Like, from underneath, you might be able to see, he just has a tiny slitter where you can see underneath his eye. Doesn't care though, goes around like a boss all day. He's absolutely brilliant. He's so cool. He's just everywhere. And, like that, I mean, even though he can see very little of what's going on, he loves the current. They all do. Carp, all koi should have a little bit of a current. And the good thing about it is, the water flowing in and giving them a bit of a swim, that actually helps them, like, build up. Oh, there's Brew. Brew's in to give me a bit of a hand. But you can see all these tiny micro bubbles that it's creating as well. That water coming back in, that's adding tons of aeration and oxygenation into the water. It's keeping the fish healthy. It means that, you know, in a heavily stocked pond, they're getting plenty of oxygen. You can actually see here, there's a couple of minnows in here as well. I'm going to get a load more of these guys because they're doing really well. And this was one of the fish that I got first to put into this pond and kind of help just keep the cycling going. Love him. Red eyes, red fin, red tail, white body. If he stays like that, I'll be super impressed. I'll be really happy. But we'll see how it goes, because quite a lot of the time these Sarasacomets, they change colour. But this panda Randa, oh, I absolutely love her. She's just such a beautiful fish. Now, she spawns regularly. Guys tend to give her a hard time. Krang, not so much. He kind of follows them around. You can't really see what he's doing, so he leaves them be. But a lot of the guys give this girl a hard time. And you can see the wing growth in her head is pink. And yeah, so like, just the general kind of shot of the pond here is shown. Like, you know what, it's really nice to have a water feature. I think everybody should have one. They just help relax you, they make you feel good. You know, you're relaxing, watching the fish, and they are super inquisitive. They want to know what you're up to. Like, they are so intelligent. People really don't give them the credit they deserve. And, you know, it's nice to be able to have something that you can interact with, because even though they're in the water, they're super interested. And that viewing window really is awesome, and it makes a difference, because now I'm getting to see the full health of the fish as well. I get to see their bodies and make sure that they don't have any issues and they're not bloated or have any white spot or things like that. Because you know what, in a pond, a bird dropping coming in could carry parasites, land in the water. You know, it's not a sterile, closed off environment. So it's nice to be able to have a look at them and make sure they're healthy without upsetting them and taking them out of the water and having a look. But yeah, that's pretty much it. This is the way it looks from kind of coming out of the house. And like I said, about 1,000 litres in total. Now, this is, like I said earlier on, double insulated, the whole thing. And I'm going to be putting a lid over this for the winter. I'll put some lights into it. And then the only part that I need to block off if it gets really cold is that viewing panel. So, yeah, it's going to be double insulated the whole way around. You know, I'll make that lid. And this is what the insulation is. So, this stuff is absolutely super, and there's actually 2 layers of it right beside each other, all locked in place, kept in with all the wood, and that is right up against the tarp on the inside then, so all double insulated. I reckon maybe a 50 watt heater, 100 watt heater max, get that off, 100 watt heater max is going to make this toasty 18 to 22 degrees for the whole winter, regardless what temperature it gets. And these guys are going to have a great time, aren't you, buddy? Yeah. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Bit of a quick overview. There's still work to be done, but we're just about there, aren't we, buddy? And yeah, really hope you enjoyed. And yeah, keep an eye out. Check the old Instagram, Greg Dorney. Loads of stuff going up every day with these guys. And of course, Krang has to be there to send us off. A unit of a fish, and he knows it. Felix, his girlfriend. She a beauty. Right, talk to you later, everybody. Take it easy. Bye.